Hello there, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to an episode of Recent Reads, where Erica talks to you about all the books that she read last year, possibly the beginning, middle-ish of last year. Was it middle-ish? I don't even know. I'm sorry guys, but let's talk about these books. It's been a while too, so if I don't remember things, I'm sorry. First up, we have Welcome to Night Vale by Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. As everyone knows, this is a podcast that they then wrote a novel about, and I was supposed to listen to the podcast, guys. I meant to. I started to. I got in about 5 minutes into the first episode, but then I discovered true crime and I fell down a rabbit hole. On my commute now, I listen to true crime, some environmental sciencey podcasts, and books in the freezer. I love books in the freezer. So I still haven't listened to Welcome to Night Vale. I don't have excuses, but what I will say is that you don't have to have listened to the podcast to be able to read this. I read it. And yeah, it was weird, but it was perfectly fine. I still enjoyed it. Though I'm sure if you have listened to the podcast, then it helps a lot, because this was weird. Before I tell you my thoughts, let me give you a quick rundown on what this is about, though it won't make any sense. It's not gonna make sense, so I'm sorry. In this strange town called Night Vale, the owner of a pawn shop, a really young owner, her name is Jackie, she's working when this weird, strange, mysterious man walks in. He's wearing this tan jacket, he's carrying this suitcase, it's strange. He walks in and he gives Jackie this piece of paper. This paper says King City, and then he leaves, which, whatever, it's a paper, right? Except that when she tries to get rid of the paper, it keeps popping up back in her hand. So no matter what she does, the paper is in her hand. How fucking annoying. So she's freaked out. I would be freaked out too. Because of this, now she has to go on a journey, if you would, a journey of figuring out the mystery of this paper that says King City. What the heck does that mean? She's accompanied by a fellow townsperson. Her name's Diane, and her son is a shapeshifter, so that's a thing. And yeah, an adventure happens. Things happen. It's weird. As strange as this, oh, strange. Look at my t-shirt, look at my t-shirt. Stranger Things. I'm a big fan of the show, just wanna say that. I was 11 for Halloween, part of Halloween, like everyone else in the world. I'll put a picture. I know I'm adorable. You're welcome. Back to the book. As strange as this book is, it's really good. It's honestly such a delight. There's so many underlying themes in this book, you know, family, letting go, moving on, and you don't really see that coming. You're so distracted by the odd goings of this town that when it happens and it gets you right here, you just... An oddly endearing book. I still don't fully know what I think. I just know that I really enjoyed this. I couldn't put it down. I highly recommend it. Apparently there's already a second book that's out, which I need to get my hands on because I want to read it. So really like this a lot. After that, I read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was one of my absolute favorite reads last year, so I've been looking forward to talking about this with you guys so much. So it's 1866. Ships all around the world have been claiming to see a sea monster. A group of men are then assembled to destroy the creature. We have our main character, our narrator, his name is Erika. I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. He's a marine biologist, and then to tag along with him we have his servant, who's basically kind of like his best friend. His name's Consul. And then we also have this whaler and professional harpoonist. His name is Ned Land. So the three of them together go on this really long journey to find this giant narwhal, to kill it, and to be rid of it, of the seas. That's their goal. Except it doesn't end up well. They find the creature, except it's not what they think it is. It is a submersible that's way ahead of its time considering this time period. It's called the Nautilus, and the submarine was built in secrecy. No one knows about it. No one's supposed to know about it. So because no one is supposed to know about it, they're taken hostage aboard the submarine. And the captain, Captain Nemo, just kidding, not that Nemo. First off, I want to say that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is distance not depth. They are not traveling 20,000 leagues down below. They're traveling distance. I don't know if everyone knows that. I didn't know that for the longest time. In case you didn't know, but you probably do know. I don't know. While I absolutely adored this story, I can see why a lot of people don't and still won't in the future. A majority of this book is in-depth scientific details on all aspects of aquatic life. And for me, well, that's candy. I love to read that stuff, but a lot of people will find that very, very boring. So I just want to pre-warn everyone that that is heavily what this book contains. But despite that, I still think it's worth the read. There's such a sense of wonder, of curiosity, venturing into the unknown. Captain Nemo is probably the most interesting part of this story. He has shut himself away from society completely, rejecting everything. And for that, he was such a big mystery, and I found it so fascinating. I couldn't recommend this enough, but honestly, everyone should read this alone because there's a giant octopus. Kraken giant fight with the beast. Okay, it's wonderful, it's fantastic. Where is that picture? There is a picture in here. Everyone should read this for this scene alone, okay? Because I said so. You have to do it. And then I read Charlie Bone and the Time Twister by Jenny Nemo. Who knows? This is the second book in the Children of the Red King series. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. This book has such a heavy similarity of Harry Potter to it, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. So this second installment continues Charlie Bone's adventure. He's a kid with magical abilities. He's able to look into photographs and sort of communicate with the people inside them. It's really fascinating on that part. We go back in time to 1916, I think, and a character by the name of Henry, he's not really getting along with his cousin named Ezekiel. So Ezekiel, because he's a crazy little bastard, he sends his cousin forward in time. So Charlie stumbles upon Henry in the now time that he's in, and he has to help this character get back in time in his proper place. That is the main plot of the second story, and it's entertaining. It's okay. I don't have a lot to say about this. I don't even know if I mentioned, but this is a middle grade series. I do think kids will love this. When did I first read this? I first read this when I was 3rd grade, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but I was really young and I love this. Rereading it now though, not as much. I still enjoyed it. I just don't think it has that spark, that specialness that Harry Potter has. I'll still continue reading the books just because I really, really want to read through the entire series and see what I think. It's still entertaining. It just doesn't have that wow factor that more well-known children's series have, you know? This next book I have here was a book that I read last year that I thought was such a gem, really. It was such a wonderful gem of a book. That's City of Thieves by David Benioff. I kind of regret not putting this on my favorite books of the year video that I put up recently. I don't love it quite as much as those 5 books that I talked about, but still, this was so good. During the siege of Leningrad, we have our main character, Lev, and he's arrested for looting, and he's taken to this jail, and in his cell, he meets our other main supporting character named Kolya. I'm not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So Lev and Kolya are taken to the side and they're told, hey, you're going to be executed. You're gonna die. But actually, wait, hold on. Maybe not. We're gonna give you a mission. And if you complete this mission, you can live and we'll let you go. So of course they say yes. Their task is to go out and find a dozen eggs, bring them back in perfect condition so that they're able to use them for the colonel's daughter's wedding cake, which in the current state of things would seem like an impossible task. But of course they're going to try because execution. Hell no. This is a clever, tragic, dark comedy that will have you constantly flipping these pages. You will not stop. The dynamic between our 2 main characters, Lev and Kolya, was such a delight. The book itself isn't really a delight. I mean, we are talking about the siege of Leningrad, so we're dealing with a lot of heavy topics, but the author does a really great job of meshing that with these characters' story and letting them have their quirks within them. At only around 250 pages, there's so much that's packed within this story. war, survival, courage, friendship, and it pulls it off so well. I couldn't recommend this book enough. David Benioff, wherever you are, whoever you are, high five to you. The last book I'm going to talk about today is none other than The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. Probably one of the best swashbuckling adventures of all time. We all know The Three Musketeers in some way, shape, or form. D'Artagnan, he goes to Paris to try to become a Three Musketeer, and it's there that he finds himself among the infamous Porthos, Athos, and Aramis. Will D'Artagnan become the fourth Musketeer? No. At least not at the beginning. Nonetheless, he's taken on a whirlwind of an adventure with the Three Musketeers, mainly to take down the Cardinal. It's a blast. The Three Musketeers is one of those books that has a little bit of everything in it for everyone. Action, check. Comedy, check. Romance, check. I could go on and on, but I'll stop. This is not a perfect story. There are flaws. It can get a bit campy at times, a little over the top here and there, but it's so compelling and so entertaining that you're going to have a blast reading this regardless. Dumas has filled this story with such eccentric and interesting characters that it just brings this story to life. These characters will forever live on. Everyone knows who D'Artagnan is. Funny enough, the most interesting character of this story I felt was rather overshadowed, and that was odd. Our villain, not the Cardinal, but Milady de Winter. She was such a twisted, dark, evil character, such a horrible human, and yet I wish that there was a whole book about her. I don't know why, but I just want to get in her head and just see everything in there. I just want to know more about why she is the way that she is. And sure, we're given a lot of information, but I want more. I want more. I think that's all I'm going to say. I did a buddy read with this. I read this with Dana. Dana filmed a book review that is amazing. She's amazing. Everyone should subscribe to Dana. I will leave that link down below, so go watch that, okay? Watch it. And those are the 5 books that I will be talking about for today's recent reads. I hope I made sense. I probably mumbled and just talked nonsense the entire time. I'm sorry. I haven't read these books for forever. My memory's just, you know? But if you guys have read any of these books, thoughts and opinions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. We can chit chat. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Goodreads, all that stuff is down below. I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye.